Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to
Welcome
another
to
session of
another
this
session of
amazing
this.
edition of IndieX 2023. I am lucky today because the two streaming sessions I will be having, which will be the next following two, and also the last ones for today, because today's the day we will end earlier than the rest of the week. Uh, I'm a bit of a suspect in regards to these both these studios because I'm a huge fan of their work for quite a long time. And let me first introduce the studio and our guest for this hour, Irina Moreno from the studio Chibig, which is a Spanish studio I've known for quite a while. I played every single game the studio developed since Dayland, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of the studio, so I'm really happy for having Chibig for I think for the third time as a finalist in the X. Irina, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for the invite and the opportunity to be here today. So thank you.
So
So,
Shibik, I think the
Chibig,
studio
I think
has.
this.
Do you have already a decade of story?
So we started in 2006, so almost 10 years, and 4 games released so far, and hopefully 5 with Mika. So
Something really curious
Something really.
that you notice when you know. By the way, if somehow whoever is watching has been living beneath a rock in the last 8 years and don't know the amazing games that Chibik has been releasing. Mostly, you usually develop cozy games. Like Dayland was some kind of a Little Prince kind of game. Like we lived in a really small planet. Then we had the amazing Summer of Mara, which was also an Indie X finalist. And what we notice across your career as a studio, you have that specific tone, and you are increasing the scope of the game. And now we have Mika and the Witch's Mountain, which I believe it's the most Studio Ghibli game you have ever released. Was that on your
absolutely.
minds?
Minds?
Obviously, yes. There's no doubt about it. Ghibli is our biggest inspiration for every of our games. It's one of them. Maybe Koa is the one that is most independent regarding this inspiration, but yeah, all of them are inspired by Ghibli games. Nausicaa, Spirited Away, and of course, its delivery service for Mika. This is like the most obvious one. And yes, here it is coming.
And is the team
And is
bigger
the team
now?
bigger
Because
now? Because I
I recall when Dylan was released, and I've met a few of your colleagues. I think in Madrid Games Week a few years ago, I spoke with them. The team was still small, but I believe with the scope of a game like Meek and the Witch's Mountain, the team got bigger. How many people are there now in Chibik?
Because the whole team is composed by 15 people, that it's not that big, but obviously bigger than the beginning of the studio. There is one person alone.
Yeah.
But regarding Mika, because we split the team in two different teams, three if we count when we were developing co-op. The team actually is split in two different teams. The bigger one with the other project we are developing since almost 2 years ago. That is Lucid People. That's not a lot about it on socials, but time will come, no worries. And the other one that is the smallest, like 5 people, are involved actually in Mika.
Okay. Production. By the way, people in the audience are asking if we can increase somehow the volume of Irina
Oh, sorry.
on the production side, maybe. Don't know. Yeah, this is so good having a professional production. Like we're talking in our years, we can talk with the director and the production team. So thank you guys in the audience for pointing this out because we only listen to ourselves in the call. So, Irina, I was curious because obviously you notice then again from Dayland, which I loved and I played a lot on my PlayStation and also on my PC because I actually bought the game in both platforms. Well, I got them for free on PlayStation because it was offered on PlayStation Plus. Because if I recall, it was involved in PlayStation Talents program, wasn't it? And then I actually bought it a second time on my PC because I also wanted to play on my PC. So, and it works well on Steam Deck. But what you notice here in Mika and the Witch's Mountain, and we'll notice this when we go to the game, is the fact that the animation is really high quality. Are you doing the animation um, inside the studio?
No, be amazing, but we are working with an outsourcing company that is called Fierro Alto and Alquimia. We work with them for also for the animation of our past games, and we are working again with them because you can see the results. I mean, are amazing. Like super cute, super colorful, matching perfectly the gameplay we are going to see later. So yeah, we are working with them, and also we are working in one more animation for Mika. So that's an exclusive.
Wait, one more animation. Like, is this also going transmedia? Like, are we going to watch animated series, for example?
I don't think so, but that would be amazing, like a dream come true. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, and obviously, you notice the not only the fact that Chibig is now a bigger team, but all your experience. If you that like I said, if you follow your career, you notice how more comfortable and how even better looking stuff are coming out. And it's amazing to follow a studio from its early beginnings, like just one person, and then seeing it become 15 people doing a game with this quality. Yeah, I just want to congratulate you. Really, it's really amazing.
Thank you so much.
If I recall, you're located. You're from Galicia or from Andalusia?
Oh no,
Neither.
we're well, we're based in Valencia,
Ah, Valencia. Yeah.
into the beach. That's why Samarimara and Koa is so inspired with the Mediterranean culture because we have the sea like next to us. But several people from the team are from the north and from the south. We have like a mix, perfect, perfect mix of cultures from Spain.
Because I'm pretty sure I I believe I spoke with someone on your team that lived in Galicia.
Yeah, sure. Sure. We have
Yeah.
like three, four people from
Yeah.
Galicia, so yes.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, and in terms of obviously the art direction and the theme and the characters, we noticed the passion for the passion you obviously have, and I think all of us have for Studio Ghibli. But mechanically wise, what do you think it's your current inspirations aside from your own games? Because you notice some kind of a DNA of Shibig's games in Mika. But are there any other inspirations?
Oh yes, obviously. Wind Waker for and a big part of the game for the visual art and also mechanics. We wanted to create like the main mechanic that is flying with the magic broom. It's like an obvious thing. And also the exploring side, the collecting part that it's maybe the biggest part of the game that is inspired by Zelda Wind Waker. And also short hike. Again, obviously the part when you have to reach the top of the mountain, like in a short hike. And that's also why we wanted to create like a short, super cozy and funny, at least, adventure, like a short hike. You don't need actually to have like a 10, 40 hour game to have fun, enjoy it, and also having a good story behind this. So we have Azure Pike as a good and big inspiration to try to create a short adventure, but still enjoyable.
It's funny. Today we had Ana Martins speaking with David from Pentakill Studios. He said exactly the same thing, which is funny. The idea that it's preferable to have a good short game than an artificial 30-hour game. So it's really funny that both of you said the same thing today, because yesterday we had some kind of a discussion on Twitter, not specifically on about indie games, but actually it was about Spider-Man. But it was really funny to see both of you mention the same thing. Other thing I would like to ask you, I can't recall now because it's João that takes care of that. Are you coming to the to the physical event? Are you coming to the physical showcase in November in Lisbon?
We actually attended to Gamescom this summer, 2 months ago, and also indeed that day that it's one
Yeah,
of the
I saw your
biggest.
booth there actually.
Yeah, really. Well, we were there, we were attending, and that's it, I guess, for now for 2023. But we are going to try as much as we can, with our limitations, of course, to attend physical events on 2024. But we have to bear in mind that the release of the game is coming to early 2024, hopefully Q1, but we'll see. We can confirm the release date for now, sadly.
Yeah. I still think that Danielle from Indie Dev Day will talk to you about the event we're gonna have in late November. We're gonna do an Iberian showcase in Porto, both Indie X and Indie Dev Day, and I think he will talk with you guys to see, especially
Sure.
your colleagues from Galicia. They are one train station away from from Porto. So yeah, maybe we can have Mika there. It would be really good. And this is what happens. So now I'm I have to deliver this, and I can't remember where to deliver because I was really distracted having this conversation.
I can give you a tip if you need it.
Yeah, because I think I didn't read the. I just skipped the. Oh, yay! We have a new message. By the way, our chat already has this information. Go wishlist Mika and the Mountain Witch on Steam. I think our own bot, Sir Beckers, is already doing this. Sorry, Sir Beckers. I know you're not a real bot, but don't forget this. Okay, just repeated the information. Okay. Oh no, I didn't read what. Let me see. Hey, boss. Hey, Gref. What do you want me to put this box?
Guess I'm not sure. Maybe you have to deliver that package to an old man.
Oh, so let's look for him.
Maybe I'm not sure. I've never played the demo. Maybe like sometimes or so.
Characters are so cute, and the game looks
Yeah.
really beautiful.
And for the ones wondering, yes, that furniture is a reference for Animal Crossing.
I know someone will make me ask this. Will we have farming on Mika?
I'm afraid not this time. I'm sorry
Ah,
for the farming fans. I am too one of the farming fans on video games, but not this time. I'm sorry. You will have enough with exploration and collecting power. I can assure you.
no, this is kind of a recurring joke because I'm a really a farming game buff, and everyone knows that if a game has farming, I will be there playing it. And apparently, I have to ask to every single game, even if it's a first-person horror game, I have to ask, will there be farming at this game? No, okay. Look at
Like the next
this.
Call of Duty, and you are like, will it be some kind of farming?
So you said you work with another studio, another company doing the animations, but the
Yes.
concepts were all internal. Were all Chibig's artists that did the concepts for the characters?
Well, the one related to the concept art side of Mika and the Witch's Mountain was, and actually is, Ernest Sala. It's a Catalonian artist. We worked with him also in previous projects. We are so close, and he was in charge of the concept side. But also, Mika is like co-on the Five Pirates of Mara, a co-production with another Spanish team that it's not actually involved in the development, but it was of the beginning. That is Noob Feast. They are currently developing, what was the name? Henokits. Yes, that is. And they were in charge of the, I don't know how to say it, building the art style of the game, especially vibes. And we are actually developing all this with obviously the narrative, working also in some mechanics, new mechanics and stuff, because we have to bear in mind we are now trying to develop the game and also implementing the new stuff, the new content we promised in our last Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
So we have lots of work to do.
Something. This is your. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is at least your second. This was your second Kickstarter campaign, wasn't it? If I recall, Summer in Mara
Oh,
also had a Kickstarter campaign, didn't it?
it's the
Or it was Koa. I can't remember if it
fourth
was.
one. First this year. Okay, if we're talking only about 2023, yes, it's well, Mika was the first one, and then came Koa in almost summer. But we also made the Kickstarter for Samimara and Ancora. So
And
actually, it's the fourth one of the team, but the second one this year.
and what was your decision behind doing the Kickstarter campaign? Because there's something we talked about in the last 3-4 years. It's how there is lesser trust in video game campaigns on Kickstarter than, for example, for board games. And
Yeah.
I always thought that eventually video game studios will end up uh, quitting going to Kickstarter because maybe it wasn't as good as they expected. But following your social media and your career, I noticed you were one of those that actually got successful campaigns after successful campaigns. So what did you do? Do you believe it's like the trust you created with the public? Like they know and we know that if we pledge for a campaign that Chibig creates, we will not be ripped off. Like the game will be created and it will be a good game. Do you think this is the secret?
One of the secrets behind the Kickstarter, well, the crowdfunding campaigns. First of all, this is the most important thing. You have to have actually a good project. You can sell like anything, an idea that is not going to be created, at least because Kickstarter actually nowadays is so safe for the backers, has like several tools to protect them. So you have to have a good project, and also it's so important to have a good community that trusts you, and that trust you have to build it. That it doesn't appear from anywhere. So you have to gain that trust in you. So we have the lab. Obviously, it's something that came with the time, years of talking with them and delivering these games we promised in the past. We have like such a lovely, trustful community that support us anytime. Truth to be told that Mika achieved something very special because we also have the support of our community, but like also the support of a new huge amount of people that never hear about us, about Chibig. But thanks to that Kickstarter, it's like a marketing
Yeah,
campaign
yeah.
before the game releases. It's a strange thing. So that helped us a lot to reach more people, new people that never hear about us, and help us a lot, obviously, with the huge amount of money that people put, like a trust decision into us. So we are not worried about that because we know we trust the team as we always did in the past. We only have like we are eager to deliver the game we want to do, and hopefully that people are waiting for. So we're very happy, and I don't know exactly why, but maybe Kickstarter is one of the main points, the pillars that our team is using to support our upcoming projects without or trying to not depending on a publisher, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you've been self-publishing for quite a while, haven't you? I think
Yeah,
all of
well,
your games were self-published.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do it always or almost always.
I'm just happy that we have these success cases now. Also speaking about Kickstarter, Kickstarter is a platform I'm really into, although only for board games. You know, because of those big names, those big projects that ended up sinking in terms of video games. I notice even myself, and I'm daily connected. I work in video games. I think I lost my trust. Yeah, because when you look at even the graphics, like what's the percentage of video game projects yearly that actually end up releasing a game or pledge or giving the pledge to their backers? And it's so good to actually talk with a studio that has been successfully doing several campaigns, building that trust, delivering good games. And yeah, I hope more studios could do this and invert the reality that is happening. So yeah.
That's definitely one way to make video games. That is the main goal of every studio. So maybe our history, our track can inspire more teams
Yeah.
to follow that way. I know I noticed that it's not something that everyone or every game can do, but definitely it's one of the possibilities.
Yeah. And I last year I attended a Spanish event, big in Bilbao, and
Oh yeah, we're going to attend. Yeah, in December, right?
yeah, you're going there this year, aren't you?
Yeah, we are going to attend, but without the booth. We are only going to be there to the
Yeah,
conferences.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Something I noticed in the Spanish community, you have a pretty tight community, don't you? Like all
Yes,
across the different regions, people work together, showcase together, help themselves. So,
it's so beautiful.
yeah. Do you like? We're gonna do. I think you noticed we're gonna do this Iberian Game Summit in November. With we're co-organizing with Danielle, with Antonio from Bilbao, because we believe that Portugal and Spain have lots of similar aspects. Not only because we're neighbors, but there are lots of cultural similarities, even economic similarities.
Mhm.
Although the Spanish industry in terms of video games is far ahead than the Portuguese one. But what would you think in terms of community that has been helping? Like, what do you think Chibig got from the community or gave to the community that actually contributed to the Spanish scene improving or getting bigger and more solid and sustainable?
Oh, that's a really good question. I never thought about it. But maybe we must say, I must confess, that Spanish community is not the biggest part of our, like the whole fan base, TV has. But uh, I'm pretty sure, I think, I'm not wrong if I say that if you take the more famous or mainstream kind of video games that everyone knows from Spanish teams, Chibik probably is the one that it's like the king of the cozy games, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
for
have
sure.
Blasphemous, Moonlighter, Grease. They're like the biggest name in the industry, but
And blasphemous,
then
yeah.
we have Blasphemous, of course. They are like the serious games, you know. But the cozy one, where where behind the cozy games from Spain that not all the people, but several people know around the world. We, or guess we are. Hopefully we are. So yes, maybe TV is contributing to complete or make that give to the gaming community around the world from the Spanish talents and teams.
Do you feel that does it happen like younger studios or recently people recent degrees or the starting their own studios or companies reach out to you like, hey, I have this idea of a game, or do you have any tips for me how to start? Does it happen?
Yes, yes, them, some of them. Yeah, I can name both. Like right now, one of them is Malapata Studios with Campervan that also make a Kickstarter this year. It's exactly like unpacking, but inside of a camper van. And it's super cute, super cute. And also Nom Nom Cafe, that is a cafe where you have to manage several dishes to your clients that are cute animals. And we talked already with the two teams to like giving tips and some guidance, some kind of guidance, but it's like a relationship because they also teach us very good things about the development of the game and also interesting information because even if you are like an expert developing cozy, relaxing video games, it doesn't mean that you are like an expert and you know everything about it. You
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have always a lot to learn, especially if you talk to different people. So yeah, we are helping each other.
So maybe now you're obviously the go-to company to reach out and to talk about this. Since obviously your reach is global, did it also happen with international studios that or creators that are like, I have an idea for a cozy game and it reminds me a lot of what you've been doing. Do you have any tips or do you want to talk about this? Did it happen to?
Yes, was I must say the this year was especially mainly because of the Kickstarter. A lot of teams around the world reached us to know more about how to do a Kickstarter campaign. So it wasn't focused on the cozy game. It was like something in general for different projects, different genres, and else. But there's also two teams from Europe that reached us, one of them in Gamescom. Uh, what was the name? Like Go Now? out and something. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name right now, but reaches to not to know how to do the game because they were awesome and they are making an amazing game and an amazing work behind that game. But yes, in terms of knowing the vibes, our talks about that work, and also obviously how to do a successful campaign on Kickstarter to finish the game actually, because the main point is not having the money to make the game from zero, but having enough to finish it, and also another stuff you have to do with your game for the development. That is the traduction, the translation, the porting to other platforms if you want to. So yes.
Yeah, and I was thinking uh, there was just a comment here on the chat saying that actually in terms of Spanish games, Blasphemous is the most cozy game, and maybe um,
It, it,
Mika is
it,
the
it,
second. Someone was joking here on the chat. Um, i-
okay,
do you have
yeah, they have a job, so yeah, you're right.
how cozy is Blasphemous? It's really cozy. So Sesh is also asking if are you planning on having a demo on Steam?
For Blackmoose, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. For Mika, we kind of participated on the last Steam Next Fest. It was just the regular participation when you actually participated one time and Steam doesn't allow you to participate again. That was 1 week, but we can talk more about it maybe hopefully for the end of the year and maybe a different demo that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
saw so
yeah. We're
far.
gonna have also our Steam event in mid-November. But yeah, I know. For example, what you're now seeing, obviously, it's you notice the quality of the game because Chibig is a really now a really experienced studio, really talented studio. But obviously, it's still a demo. Like um, we know in terms of content, it's not ready to it's ready to show maybe in this kind of events, but not to have a proper demo on Steam. It's it, isn't it?
Yeah, and for those wondering why the demo is so short, bear in mind the game is going to take like 6 hours or else.
Yeah.
So the demo can't be any longer because
Yeah, yeah. No, you would be showing a huge chunk of the game
yeah.
on a demo. Yeah, but another question: when did you start the production of Mika? Like when did the last project end, and when it was Koa, wasn't it the last one developed?
Yeah,
And
the
when did Mika start? When did Mika's production started?
well, Mika and Koa started pretty similar on the schedule, like maybe by the end of 2021.
Mm,
And both games with also elusive people were announced in a kind of Chibig direct in early 2022 with a silly release date that was launching both games, Mika and Koa, by the end of 2022. That was obviously not possible for the team. We know this later, but yeah, mistakes. And yeah, also Koa was uh, co co-production, sorry, co-production with another two Catalonian Spanish teams, Talpa Games and other covers, and that's why Koa came first compared to Mika. but also because it doesn't have any sense for us to release two games, even if they are so different at the same time. So we decided, obviously, with the content we have to implement from the Kickstarter campaign, to release first co-op. Also was in further stages compared to Mika. We decided to release it first and then push Mika to early 2024. But yeah, both games also free if we take into account elusive people started pretty much similar.
So, and you said that Chibig, although you're now 15 people, you're more or
Yeah.
less divided in developing more than one game at the same time, which means
Yes.
more or less how many people are now working on Mika?
Right now,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right now.
yeah, I'm trying to figure it out if I must include myself because I'm marketing. So maybe 4, 5 people if you want
Oh,
to include me.
oh, that's amazing. That's yeah. In Pokemon terms, that's super effective.
Yeah. You're right, you're right.
We also have a question. Uh, what are the future plans for Chibik? Are you going to do any sequels for your already established games, or are you investing in focusing on standalone games like creating new worlds and new IPs?
That popped up after Koa, Koa's release. So for now, we are going to take the Mara's universe and give it like a retirement, a relaxing time for, I don't know, time, and focusing on individual stories. Elusive People is the coming one after Mika's release. Uh, I can tell release date because it's still in development and there's a lot to do. And that's it for now. We don't have any plans further than Elusive People, but they are individual stories for sure. Yeah.
So, and even with these parallel studios, or like yeah, so in a way, different studios inside Chibig, is are you internally, well, of course this takes lots of planning and lots of um, serious conversations, even business wise, but did you ever talk among each other, like from the first game to where you are now, having a sustainable company with different studios developing different games? It's some kind of a dream, you understand what I like. Where
It
was
is.
anyone expecting this to be as like, I believe that someone that loves games has the dream, or someone that is passionate about doing games has a dream of being able to live, to have this as their livelihood. But Shibik is really, really successful, and having two studios, getting the team bigger, a sustainable company. Are you in a way surprised? Obviously happy, but surprised about how things turned up.
See, because this wasn't the plan, actually. I mean, the studio started with one person that only wanted to make a game, and that's it. But for obvious reasons, he has to reach and hire more people to, well, not for Dayland, that was the first one, but for some reason that comes later. It was like a need from the project itself. So it was like growing, growing up organically in people, but also the team itself. Like we are trying to make not bigger but better games that are focused on the narrative and also the visual part, that are the main points of Civic, like the main goals in each project, in its new project. And but yes, after Summer in Mar with the successful of the game, we try to open to new opportunities like relationship with other game dev teams. They are also our friends to make something together to try to make better games because we are good enough in the narrative and art style, as I said, but there are another teams that are like super good with the mechanics or another parts of the game development. So why not to try to team up with them to make things better and faster? And I don't know, but something that people are not thinking about doing right now. Like, I mean, how many teams are cooperating with another ones to make one? Okay, don't think about
Yeah, big
the
triple A's. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, in the game community, how many teams are teaming up with another teams to make projects together? Not so many. So we decide to explore that new possibility, and it's pretty good, and you learn a lot of it. So we're so happy with that. But we didn't plan that like 3 years ago.
It came
So
naturally.
yeah, we are, yeah, absolutely. So we are surprised, happy, but super surprised. Yeah, and we don't have any idea what the future is preparing for us, but we are open to almost everything. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's so I find it curious about the community, because in a situation like that, when you collaborate with a studio you're close to, and that you feel they are good in something, they in a way complement your own work. It's something really positive, but in fact, it's a win-win situation for you. Your desire is to develop and present the best game possible, and you might find, okay, these friends of ours are good, they can help us achieve that goal of releasing the best game that we can do. And also for the other studios, even if they are not as experienced as Chibig, they will gain also that experience, the working in maybe a bigger project than they would be working initially. I think it's really a win-win situation. And I actually saw that happening in the last 12, 14 years a lot in especially in the Nordic communities. That studios helping up each other, like someone was finishing their game, already released their game, so they had like a small window of 2 months to help the other friendly studio to finish their game. And I think everyone wins. Like, we have a friend in our team, Johnny. He's always repeating a Portuguese saying, which is more or less like a rising tide lifts all boats. And it's true. Like, yeah, if the tide rises, all boats rise with it. So yeah, not a
Yeah,
competition, but like helping or getting good connections and help with other studios. I think it's
yeah,
amazing.
that's absolutely.
Yeah, and I just noticed I'm enjoying so much our conversation, Irina, that I noticed we had to wrap up. Mika is really beautiful. I think it encompasses everything that is Shibig for me as a huge follower of your studio. It's cozy, it's beautiful, it's relaxing, interesting characters as always. Um, I think also your Valencian and Mediterranean influence shows in something, because your games are usually, well, Dayland wasn't, because yeah, it was in the middle of the galaxy, but the majority of your games are always sunny and bright and colorful, and it gives us this relaxing ambience that is amazing. And Mika, obviously, we're playing just a small vertical slice of the game, and looks amazing. And I'm really really anxious to play the entire thing. So please, when you are close to having the game getting finished or close to being released, please let us play this as soon as possible.
Of course, you bet.
And I would also like to thank you, not only you, Irina, for taking your time to having this chat with us. and presenting Chibig and Mika and the Witch's Mountain, which is really beautiful. But also to Chibig because your company is also part of our own history, because I think it's the third game, at least the third game that is part of Indie Access history. And I think that's great. And we hope we can, in a way, contribute to spread the word of your amazing talent and amazing games.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you all the share this beautiful moment with us this afternoon. So thank you. Thank you.
I would like to remember everyone, please go wish list Mika and the Witch's Mountain. We have our own Sir Becca's pasting it across the last hour. Go there, wish list it, and stay updated as possible. Irina, thanks a lot for being with us. Best of luck to everyone at Chibig. I hope we can meet in person with I can meet the rest of the team. I only know I think 3 people from your company. I wish you the best. Okay.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
And now we're taking a small, just a small intermission, and I will be back in close to 12 minutes with the last game for today. So please stay tuned and play good games and wishlist Mika and the Witch's Mountain. Don't forget. Thanks a lot. See you in a few minutes.